tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Check, check.
How the hell you doing? I've been just fine, living life with the noose and in my mind, all I hear is music. Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor. She's real hot, but they said to never date her. I agree, but you did and I hate her. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time.
And now, Mike's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest time of year. Welcome to arguably the greatest time of year, fantasy football draft season. It is where legends are made, rivalries are born, and friendships are ruined over waiver wire claims. Guys, fantasy football is the best thing ever. It takes a boring Thursday night game between the Texans and Titans and suddenly makes it must-see TV because your flex spot is on the line. Your flex spot is about to score 20 points. Every yard, every touchdown, every missed extra point matters. It's chaos, it's drama, it's flat out addictive. Now, I know some of you are out there. I know some of you guys have spent 3 or 4 hours printing off spreadsheets, running mock drafts like it's your full-time job. And you know what? That's cute. That's funny. My auto draft team, yeah, the one that I didn't even touch all season long, just walked in and going to smack you around again week 1, week 2, week 3. Auto draft is obviously greater than a 3-hour prep. Don't at me. It is what it is. Look around. I see bold moves every season. Oh, you're starting him at QB? That's a bold move. Bold move for Heartbreak Sunday. You drafted 0 kickers again. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Bake on a rookie this week? Hope you find faith that pays better than your lineup. Some of you look like you're chasing points per air ball. Others look like you're collecting participation Toshis, Alpha Rob. And I'm here to enjoy every second of it. But that's the magic of fantasy football. It's just trash talk. It's just rivalry. It's the sweet satisfaction of ruining your buddy's Sunday because his kicker missed a 40-yard field goal. It's friendship, families, co-workers bonded over by win, losses, and weekly chaos. Guys, at the end of the day, fantasy football isn't just great, it's legendary. So buckle up, set your lineups, and get ready to get roasted because this season it's going to be buck wild right here on the Man Hour. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This Man Hour sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest, nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport talk. Man Hour. Sport talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport talk. Man Hour. Sport talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? And welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys, your go-to spot for live, raw, and uncut NFL talk. And I'm so glad you're with us here today on this Tuesday edition, August 19th, 2025. We're sitting at 9:08 right here on the East Coast time. This is live, raw, uncut NFL talk. But before we dive into today's action, guys, let me tell you a little bit about manhourradio.com. That is where you can grab all your exclusive merchandise, check out our latest blogs, and stay up to date everything that we're doing over here at the Man Hour. So if you're repping the Man Hour, if you love the Man Hour, and if you love NFL talk, head over to manhourradio.com, guys, to stay up to date. Sign up to be a subscriber over there. It's free. You get a weekly mailing thing, yada, yada, yada. But do not forget to hit the like button, guys, share this with a couple friends, and subscribe to the channel as well. It is the best way to stay connected and to make sure you never miss a live show or an upload. Now, guys, remember, this is a live interactive show, so make sure you comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions, and I want to hear your hottest of the hottest takes because we all about that conversation. So let's jump over to the chat and see what the people are saying today. We got my man Alpha Rob is in the chat today. What's good, brother? He says, what up, Buck? What up, what up, what up, what up? Alpha Rob. You are an everydayer here, man. You are here every day that we are live right here at youtube.com/Man Hour. And I want you to know, guys, that we are starting the the Man Hour Fantasy Football League yet again. I'll post a link tomorrow for our Pigskin Pundits, and then the following day I will post it on our Facebook and YouTube pages. So if you guys want to join a 12-man, totally free fantasy football league. We got a little trophy that we'll send out, and we just have a good time. And now for Rob says he's eating some red pickle sausage and having a Modelo. Is that the most northern thing I've ever heard in my life? It is what it is. Because my dad's from Michigan, and he would always go home and get those pickle sausages, right? It was just like the greatest thing to walk the earth. The pickle sausages, the pickle sausages, the pickle sausages. They're not very good. I'm just saying they're not very good. But you enjoy eating your red pickle sausage, and you have your Modelo, and you sit back and you enjoy some man-hour NFL talk. But guys, let's dive right into today's show, and let's talk about some controversy that's happening across the NFL landscape. And it starts right here in the middle of the United States of America, in the Midwest, in Indianapolis, Indiana. Daniel Jones has officially been made the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts heading into the 2025 NFL season. And honestly, guys, I think this is the best move that the Colts could have made moving forward. Guys, face it. Daniel Jones is still pretty young. He has plenty of room to grow still. And most importantly, he's the type of quarterback that can run exactly the kind of offense that Shane Steichen wants to run. The RPO, nickel and dime it down the field. That's what Daniel Jones thrives at, and he fits this mold perfectly. He's mobile, he's smart enough at the line of scrimmage, and he's proven in camp that he can handle in the operations. Now, by naming Daniel Jones the Week 1 starter against the Miami Dolphins, I really do believe this adds 2, if not 3, wins to the Indianapolis Colts schedule in 2025. Let's not sugarcoat it, guys. The AFC South is wide open. The Jaguars are not juggernauts. The Texans are not juggernauts. And the Titans are not juggernauts. That division can legitimately be taken by anyone. This move actually gives the Indy a legit shot at competing for that crown. Matter of fact, I think this puts him as a front runner to win the AFC South. And oh, by the way, they just added Xavier Howard just yesterday. They're getting better, and they understand what to do. But here is where I have my questions, right? Because we all know that Anthony Richardson was the, 4th or 5th overall pick for the Indianapolis Colts just a couple years ago. How long is that chain actually for Daniel Jones? What happens if he comes out and he's just the bed the first game? Does he get benched? What happens if he gets, they go 1-3? Does he get benched? If he comes out and he drops 2 or 3 games in a row, does the seat get hot? Does Steichen start looking at Anthony Richardson and say, all right, let's see what you got now? Or is this truly Daniel's job? Win, lose, or draw, is it his job? That is my biggest question about this whole naming Daniel Jones starter. But now let's get into a little bit of details behind this decision, right? The Colts quarterback battle has been ongoing all offseason. It came down to Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson. And at the end of the day, Steichen flat out said Jones is a starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a short leash on that. Yeah, but when you lose 2, 3, 4 games in a row, how short does that leash actually get? And you know what? It is telling, right? That's saying this is our guy. We're going to ride with him. And that makes sense when you think about what Daniel Jones brings compared to Anthony Richardson. It wasn't that either of them separated themselves as lights out during training camp. Let's just be honest, they both kind of played shit. But that's what Jones brought, was the consistency. Daniel Jones is more consistent than Anthony Richardson at the end of the day. He handles the protections, he makes the right checks at the line, and his accuracy was just a little bit better. Now, let's not forget that Daniel Jones, or that the Indianapolis Colts only gave Daniel Jones a 1-year, $14 million deal with $13 million guaranteed this offseason. That's not a backup type of contract. That's a, we want you to play and prove that you can win contract, right? Show us what you can do. Then you're going to get those dollar bills, yo. Now, Anthony Richardson, on the other hand, has been stuck in neutral since being drafted. Between the injuries, the lack of progress, and like camp, and even getting knocked out of the preseason action with the dislocated pinky. He just hasn't done enough to claim that role. And when you look at the history, rookie season cut short by a shoulder injury, oblique injury last season, and short benching, it's been a rocky road for Anthony Richardson. Does he still have a higher ceiling? Absolutely. The ceilings, however, don't matter. If you can't get on the field and prove yourself that you can handle the system. Daniel Jones is more stable and the safer bet. Now, here's the other layer. What does this mean for the Indianapolis Colts leadership? general manager Chris Ballard and head coach Shane Steichen are both on the hot seat this season. Let's just be flat honest. They're on the hot seat. The Colts haven't made the playoffs in 4 years. Ballard has swung and missed on quarterbacks over and over and over since Andrew Luck retired. Shane Steichen nearly got them into the postseason in 2023, but followed up with a flat-out, uninspiring 2024. Their jobs are quite literally might rest on Daniel Jones' shoulders. So here's my thoughts on this. Here is my take. This is the right move. I've been saying Daniel Jones is the right move for the Indianapolis Colts for a very, very long time. Now, I'm not saying Daniel Jones isn't a superstar. He doesn't have to be. In the Shane Steichen system, the Colts have weapons. He can be efficient. He can control the game. He can win enough just to keep the Indianapolis Colts competitive in the AFC South. I think he adds a win or 2 or 3 to this team and gives them the best shot to reach the playoffs. But if he stumbles early, let's just be honest, it could get real messy really, really fast. So let me throw this out here to you guys in the comments down below. Do you think Daniel Jones will hold up his job all season long, or Anthony Richardson eventually take over again in 2025? So comment down below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and your best of the best hot takes. And always, guys, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course, share this with a couple friends. We are live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/man-hour. So that it just, listen, Daniel Jones is the man, the myth, the legend. Let's move on to the next quarterback controversy that's happening across the NFL landscape, and that is the Cleveland Browns. Yes, those Cleveland Browns. Those Cleveland Browns that have been on front page news since the NFL draft, since they drafted Shedeur Sanders, since they drafted Dylan Gabriel, since they've been doing Browns things, right? But the Cleveland Browns have officially named Joe Flacco their Week 1 starter. And this decision tells me everything that you need to know about the Cleveland Browns. Naming Joe Flacco, Mr. 40-some-odd-year-old quarterback himself, tells you 3 things. First off, this tells me that the Browns are actively thinking that they can win right now. The Browns are walking into the 2025 NFL season thinking that they can compete for a Super Bowl right now. And I'll be honest with you, that thought process is hard for me to understand. Look, I know Cleveland made it to postseason in 2023 with Joe Flacco under Kevin Stefanski's system. I know the defense is loaded with Myles Garrett in that front, but let's be real. This team is not a top contender in the AFC. Hell, it's not even a top contender in the AFC North. Not even close. The facts are the facts. In the AFC North alone, you still got them at the 4th best team. Behind Baltimore, behind Pittsburgh, behind the Cincinnati Bengals, and then you got the Cleveland Browns in that pecking order. Boom, boom, boom. That's the way it's going to be. The second thing this tells me, there was never really a quarterback battle in Cleveland. The Browns had 6 quarterbacks under contract, but Joe Flacco was quarterback 1 all along. By all accounts, he was the wire-to-wire front runner in training camp. By all accounts, Joe Flacco, the quarterback competition, it was all just a safe face at the end of the day. Now, Kenny Pickett's hamstring injury ended any real veteran versus veteran competition. Rookie Shedeur Sanders had flashes of moments, but then went down with the oblique injury. Dylan Gabriel battled with the hamstring issue as well. Tyler Huntley was brought into camp just for an arm. And then another quarterback sit on the PUP list, right? That's Deshaun Watson, right? Guys, point blank is Flacco was a guy from day one. And now it was all just window dressing. It was all about publicity, son. It was all about getting their names in our mouth and revealing those Alpha Browns jerseys, crap-ass jerseys, and being must-see TV. But guys, let's dig into why Joe Flacco makes sense for Kevin Stefanski. The Browns know his history in the system, right? In 2023, he stepped in and actually got them into the postseason. His ability to stretch the field fits Stefanski's system. He can still run first offense effectively. He knows how to keep them in the right play. And for a team leaning on his defense, that matters, a.k.a. game management. So the question is, can Joe Flacco avoid the turnovers? Because that's been his biggest MO. He turns the ball over a lot. The last time he played in Cleveland, he threw 8 interceptions in 5 games. Last year in Indy, 7 picks and 6 starts. If he can't clean that up, that defense is going to be put in bad spots all season long. And let's not forget about that schedule. The Browns open up with Cincinnati, and then Baltimore, and then Green Bay, and then Detroit, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh in the first 5 of the 6 weeks. It's a brutal stretch, a brutal start to any NFL season. That's why I think Flacco always made the most sense to start the season. He's a veteran who can at least handle those defenses mentally and physically. But let's be real here. If anybody thinks 40-year-old Joe Flacco is the long-term answer, you are mistaken. He is 40 years old. He's entering his 18th year into the NFL. At some point, the Browns are going to want to know what they got in Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel. If this thing goes south, Cleveland racks up losses, you better believe one of these guys are going to see the field before we get to 2026. Good. Here's my final thoughts on this. Cleveland naming Joe Flacco QB1 shows where their head is at. They're still trying to win right now, but they're stuck in the middle. They don't have the firepower to run with the elite teams in the AFC, and Flacco doesn't change that. It gives them some stability, sure, whatever, but the ceiling, at best, this keeps them respectable. 7-8 wins. At worst, it delays the inevitable. Cleveland is back to square one at a quarterback again. But I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Do you guys think the Cleveland Browns are right to roll with Joe Flacco as their starter, or should they have handed the keys to younger guys right away? Comment down below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts. Speaking of hearing thoughts, Pigskin Pun is Laura's in the chat.
Pigskin Pun. Get you some.
What's up, Laura? What's up? Alpha Rob says it's Jones' job to lose. Not wrong. Sadie says Joe Flacco is 40. He is 40. He's old. He's an old head. Listen, this man's been in the NFL for 18 years. 18 years. There are college players that were still in their daddy's balls when Joe Flacco was winning Super Bowls. Wrap your head around that. Joe Flacco could be playing against somebody's parents' kids, right? Their teammates. He could be playing with their kids. It's so crazy. It's just so mind-boggling that 40 years old and he still think he can fling it. Cleveland Browns, like legitimately, what is wrong with you guys? I mean, I understand. It's only freaking August, right? And Buck, everybody's 0-0. Look at the ticker up at the top, right? Everybody's 0-0. Everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance until you get punched in the face, right? Why not Kenny Pickett? Like legitimately, like why not Kenny Pickett? You traded for him, right? No, they picked him up in free agency. They picked Joe Flacco up in free agency. Like, I get it. But not. Do you guys legitimately think the Browns have a shot to make the playoffs? Playoffs? Yeah, we're talking about playoffs. Alpha Rob says, if the Browns are trying to win games, Flacco is an option. But how is the Browns O-line? Because he's a statue. Browns O-line is terrible. The Browns offense is not very good. Nick Chubb is gone. Yeah, you got Jerome Ford. He's healthy for about 6 games. Yeah, you got Jerry Jeudy, Mr. Overrated wide receiver himself. Speaking of that, let's talk about Jerry Jeudy, guys. The other day on the afternoon drive on the Pigskin Pundits here, Laura was on there, Old Man River was on there, Jim was on there, I think Hoffy was on there too, right? We were all talking shit, and Old Man River says, you know what? Buck, name me your top 10 receivers in the NFL. Name me your top 10 receivers. You know, and I start just naming them off the top of my head. I went from, East Coast to West Coast. You throw out the A.J. Browns, you throw out the Tyreek Hills, though Jalen Waddles, I think he's a pretty good receiver. Devontae Smith's a pretty good receiver. Then you got Jamar Chase, JJ, right? Rashid Rice, and like all those names, right? So we named 10, 11, 12 names. One name that did not come up to the top is Jerry Jeudy. Old Man River goes ape shit crazy on me, as old men do, because Pigskin Pundits, why not?
Pigskin Pun. Get you some.
He says, Buck, Jerry Jeudy's a top 10 receiver. Look at him. He's top 10. He's top 10. He's top 10. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. So let me ask you guys this question. No particular order. Just go from the NFC East, work your way over to the NFC North. Start the AFC East, work your way off to the AFC North. Give me top 10 receivers. Let's start. NFC East. We have CeeDee Lamb, arguably a top receiver. A.J. Brown, arguably a top 10 receiver. Right there is 2. I would honestly put Scary Terry up there as well. Number 3. Hell, I might even lean toward DK. He's not. Let's not get carried away. So right there is 3. Scary Terry, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. No particular order. Just throwing names out there. Now let's go to the NFC South. Do we put Mike Evans in the top 10? I still think you have to. I think Mike Evans is going to have top 10 numbers this season. So there's number 4. Anybody else in the South? Panthers? No. Falcons? No. Saints? No. I mean, I guess Chris could have a great season, but probably not. So let's work our way over to the West. Marvin Harrison Jr., is he a top 10 receiver? Close, but I wouldn't give him the cigar yet. Cooper Kupp, I give it to him. There is 5. Brandon Ayuk, probably not going to be top 10 this season. He's going to come in week 7, week 6. He's going to be injured. Nobody else really stands out. Maybe Devontae Adams, maybe, or Puka. Let's put Puka up there. So there's 6. Just in the NFC, 3 divisions so far. We got 6. No Jerry Jeudy. Then roll over to the NFC North. Any top 10 receivers there? Amaron, JJ. Anybody else? Probably not. Sitting at 8. 8, right? Now we go to the AFC. AFC East. Anybody in the AFC East a top 10? Tyreek Hill? Yeah, he's still probably top 10, right? So we're sitting at 9. Anybody else in the AFC East? Probably not, right? AFC South? Probably not, right? Can't think of anybody from the AFC South that's going to maybe Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's kind of on the Jerry Jeudy level. We'll keep him out though. AFC West, anybody in the top 10? Rashid Rice is top 10. Anybody else? No. There's 10. Then we go to AFC North. Zay Flowers, top 10 receiver. Yeah, I'll give him that. Then you got Jamar Chase. I'll give him that. Once again, no Jerry Jeudy. So Old Man River, speaking of Old Man River, right there he is.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
So Jerry Jeudy is not a top 10 receiver. So guys, in the comments below, I want you to give me your top 10 receivers in the NFL. No particular order. It doesn't matter. We're not going to scrutinize your order. I just want you guys to say, you know what? This guy's a top. Yeah, I'll put this guy. And I guarantee you, nobody in the chat is going to say that Jerry Jeudy is a top 10 receiver. Old Man River, give me your top 10. Mr. Jerry Jeudy at number 8. Come on, man. Let's get back into the comments. Sadie says, Flacco has had butt fumbles and thrown many interceptions during his career. However, you cannot throw interceptions when you are a game manager, and that's what he's going to be doing in Cleveland, is managing the game. Not out there to win the game, out there to manage the game, out there to be decent at best, right? It is what it is. But guys, let's get into Overreaction Tuesday. All right, guys, so Overreaction Tuesday is very, very simple. It is about that time. For those of you who have not seen this segment before, let me break it down for you, baby. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a hot take, a bold statement, and a tense reaction to something going around the NFL world, or that we have talked over here on the Pigskin Pundits. And it's up to us to decide if it's an overreaction or if it's truly actually spot on. Now, if you think it's an overreaction, we call it out. We say, whoa, slow it down, baby. That's a little bit too much. And we're going to about to dial it back, see things a little bit more perspective. Be a little bit more humble. Use the wide angle lens, not the zoom in focus, right? But it's about to throw out some of the hottest takes, guys, and let's decide if it's an overreaction or not. right, guys. So the first overreaction on this Overreaction Tuesday is it an overreaction to say that the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is officially over? Now, guys, let's be real. There are plenty of reasons to ask this question. The Chiefs don't look the same dominant team as they did a couple years ago. The offense isn't putting those video type game numbers anymore. The wide receiver room is still kind of full of question marks, right? Outside of Travis Kelce, who's getting older, there's not a single consistent weapon Mahomes can rely on week in and week out. You could throw Rashee Rice on there, but hey, that man might be in jail. You never know. Defensively, guys, they're pretty good. They can hang. They can hold really good teams add to the end zone. They can shut down the Bengals, the Ravens, the Texans. When it matters the most, the defense is already there. But on the flip side, the AFC is absolutely stacked. You do have the Ravens. You do have the Buffalo Bills. You do have the Houston Texans. You do have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The list goes on and on and on. The Denver Broncos are coming. The LA Chargers are coming. Hell, the LA Raiders are coming. Or sorry, the Las Vegas Raiders are like coming. Like, look. If you look at it and think maybe the window is closing, maybe the dynasty is really over, is Mahomes still Mahomes? Sure. But no quarterback can carry the franchise forever, right? Andy Reid isn't going to coach forever. Travis Kelce isn't going to play forever. And eventually this team is going to come back down to earth. Guys, there's a real reality that the dynasty is over in Kansas City. There's a real possibility that the ball will not bounce the Kansas City Chiefs' way this season or next season or for the next 15 seasons. They might be a 500 team moving forward. But here is the thing. Here's the thing. Let me speak it from the heart. Let me speak it from a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Oh, hell no, the dynasty is not over, baby. As long as Patrick Mahomes is wearing the red and gold, as long as Andy Reid is standing on the sideline, as long as Brett Veach keeps reloading that roster year after year after year, the Kansas City Chiefs are still going to dominate the AFC. Dynasties don't end just because other teams got better. Dynasty ends when the king falls, and so far, nobody has taken the Kansas City Chiefs spot for good. Yes, they had a bad Super Bowl last season, but you know what? They've won 3 out of the last 5. So, guys, it is an overreaction to say the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is over. Absolutely, 100%. They may not bend, but they're not breaking. The Kansas City Chiefs are still great. Patrick Mahomes is still great. Brett Veach is still great. Andy Reid is still grooming people to be the next coach. To all the people that think the dynasty is over in Kansas City just because they had one failed Super Bowl, Old Man River, you better go check your water and make sure there's not vodka in there. Make sure there's not some chloroform in there because you are high as a kite. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs are here to stay for a very, very long time. But just don't take my word for it. I want to hear you guys. Do you guys think the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is truly over? On its last legs, or is this a team still trying to beat? Or is this a team still beating the AFC? Comment down below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, all that jazz. I don't want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Because anybody that says, yeah, it's over, Alpha Rob, it's Buffalo Bills time, man, shut your mouth, blowhole. The Buffalo Bills are the greatest one-hit wonder of all time. They are going to be forever bridesmaids. The Buffalo Bills might eventually beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Sure. At one point it is bound to happen. Maybe 2026, maybe 2027, hell, maybe 2028. Hell, 3 years in a row. It could happen. But the Buffalo Bills will never be a dynasty. The Buffalo Bills will never hoist the Lombardi trophy. The Buffalo Bills will never be, oh, I wish I had Josh Allen. I wish I had the Buffalo Bills. They're the lovable losers. They're the lovable losers. But the Bills have to be the team to put the rest of the beat in the playoffs in the blowout fashion. Alpha Rob, the Buffalo Bills will never blow out the Kansas City Chiefs. Sure, in the regular season, whatever. You guys do you. What are you, 1-3 versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season? Josh Allen head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes? Sure, whatever. What about that playoff record, though, baby? What about that playoff record? And then, oh man, River says the Buffalo Bills will have more win than the Queefs. Ah! Shut up. You know damn well that's not going to happen. You know damn well that is not going to happen at all. Actually, tomorrow, on Wednesday's show, Hump Day Wednesday, right? Beautiful Wednesday show. Let's go around the NFL landscape and see if a team can do better or I'm going to give you 5 teams, guys, that could be poised for a worse season. Think about the teams that had 15-2 records, 14 wins, whatever. The Minnesota Vikings, the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and Detroit Lions, right? There's 4 teams off the top of my head. And you know what? Let's throw the Philadelphia Eagles in there too. 5 teams that could potentially do worse in 2025. And I'll tell you why tomorrow. I will, right here on the Man Hour. I'll tell you why the Kansas City Chiefs could be better or worse. Why the Buffalo Bills could be worse. Will they? Absolutely not. The Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is here to stay, and they just keep reloading, retooling, and rebuilding. But you know what? Legitimately, I want to hear from you, Sadie. I want to hear from you, Laura, Alpha Rob, Old Man River, Jim, Coffee. Don't speak as a Kansas City Chiefs hater. Speak as a NFL fan. Do you want the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty to be over? Like, I feel like that's a legitimate question. Do you want the dynasty to be over? Or do you like having success? Let's move on. All right, guys. So next up here on the Overreaction Tuesdays, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jameis Winston. So, guys, is it an overreaction to say that Jameis Winston should be traded from the New York Football Giants? Ooh, that one hit you in the belt, didn't it? Because if you think about it, Russell Wilson is a starter, right, Brian Dayball? So what about Jackson Starr? Is he going to be Russell Wilson's our starter? Russell Wilson's our starter. Russell Wilson's our starter. And then Jackson Dart's been playing out of his mind. We talked about him last night, about how great he has been, right? Jackson Dart has been amazing. Russell Wilson is just doing Russell Wilson things. I mean, at first glance, you might say no, right? You take a look at the roster, you see Russell Wilson is a starter, right, Brian Dayball? Russell Wilson, my starter. Jackson Dart is the rookie first rounder. They still want to develop. So what's the point of having Jameis Winston around, honestly, right? What is the point? Some teams out there are desperately in need for quarterback depth. The trade market is heating up. The roster cutdowns are coming, and Winston is the kind of the name that gets floated around. So yeah, it sounds like it could make sense. But here's the reality, guys. It is an overreaction. The Giants have zero interest of moving from Jameis Winston. And honestly, I do not blame them one bit. Their assistant general manager, Brandon Brown, said it plain as day. Jameis is a New York Giant. He praised Winston's preparation, leadership, and locker room presence. He said the teammates love him. Coaches love the way he approaches the game. He's just not a backup quarter. He's become the glue guy for this offense. Awesome. But guys, let's not forget what Winston has done at this point in his career. He has never been a long-term starter, but he's the kind of guy who can step in and sling it for 350 yards on some random Sunday and maybe throw a couple picks while he's at it. That's the deal with Jameis. You get a roller coaster. As a backup quarterback, that's actually valuable because if Russell Wilson goes down to 2-3 weeks, you'd rather have Winston than some random camp body, right? And let's just be honest, the Giants aren't in a position to be charitable. They're not going around shipping off their QB2 for a late round pick while banking on everything on a rookie. Depth at quarterback matters. We've seen it every single year. One bad hit and your season hands in the hands of a backup. So when you look at it, saying the Giants should trade Jameis Winston is definitely an overreaction. His value to New York is greater in the locker room as a backup option than whatever you have in the backup of the trade. But I'll throw it to you guys. What do you think? Should the Giants keep Jameis Winston as quarterback too? Or do you think it's smarter to cash in now and have a backup role to Jackson Dart? Guys, comment down below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts. And always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Old Man River, Mr. Pigskin Pundit himself. Where's it at?
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
He says Jameis is the king of the second string. I would say he's the prince of the second string. The king of the second string was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's just be honest. Fitzmagic, the definition of a roller coaster. This man could go out there and throw 450 yards on a Thursday night football game. The very next week, throw 6 interceptions and get benched. It's just crazy to me. But the more I sit back and think about it, yeah, he's charismatic, or how you say it. Reading the Bible, the team loves him, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But do you really need a glue guy in New York? Or do you legitimately need a backup quarterback? That's a better question. But going back to the better question, going back to the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL, Sadie dropped as her top 10. She has Jamar Chase, George Jefferson. I think she means Justin Jefferson, hopefully. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hey, guess what, Old Man River? No Jerry Jeudy. No Jerry Jeudy. Alpha Rob says keep him. He'll play a few games. Meeting Jameis Winston. Yeah, you should keep him. Keep him till week 3. Trade him off when J.J. McCarthy starts sucking for the Minnesota Vikings. Trade him off to Minnesota. He'll have a pretty good season because, old Kevin O'Connell's a quarterback whisperer, right? Quarterback whisperer. Get him in there. Do your thing. I don't know. We'll see. But guys, let's move on to a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. All right, folks, as we start to wind down today's show, we're not quite done yet. This is our final segment, fact or crap. Here's the deal. I'm going to go through some statements, some facts that are floating around the NFL world, and you just have to decide if it's a solid fact or if it's a bunch of crap. We're going to separate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's really worth believing. If it's legit, we're all about it. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it back. So grab your popcorn because we're about to get real. It's time for a little bit of fact or a whole lot of crap. Let's find out, baby. All right, guys, so the first fact or crap of the day. Fact or crap, guys, should the Colts trade Anthony Richardson? Oof. That one's tough, but let's lay it all out. The Colts made waves this week by officially naming Daniel Jones their starting quarterback. And let's be real. When you hand a guy $14 million in March, you don't bring him in to be a hold a clipboard. Richardson agent Dedrick Jackson is already speaking out, calling the move disappointing, questioning the team's credibility, and hinting that his client's future in Indy may be on thin ice. Think about this timeline here. Last year, Anthony Richardson was benched for 2 games because head coach Shane Steichen said he wasn't preparing properly. They went with Joe Flacco. Yes, they did drop 2 state, and boom, Anthony Richardson's back in the lineup. That doesn't exactly scream confidence in your young quarterback. And now, after what is reportedly a strong training camp, they still had the keys to Daniel Jones? From the outside looking in, guys, it feels like the Colts were never truly sold on Anthony Richardson. His agent flat out said, trust is a big factor, and that's questionable right now. And you know what? He's not wrong. You don't invest a top 5 draft pick in your quarterback and watch him flash playmaking ability, late season game-winning drives, using that athleticism when it mattered most, and then shove him to the side without shaking the foundation of trust. But on the other hand, the Colts keep insisting Anthony Richardson has a future with the team. They say he's improved his mechanics, his accuracy, his preparation. Anthony Richardson said it himself, he's doing all the right things. He says, no hard feelings, nothing personal, I just got to keep growing. That's the mature answer, no doubt about it. And you could argue that's keeping him around, letting him learn, and waiting out Jones' 1-year deal does make sense. So guys, is it fact or crap? Do the Colts need to trade Anthony Richardson right now? Let me say this with my chest. This is a fact. The Colts need to separate themselves from Anthony Richardson as fast as they can. Let's just be honest. Colts Nation, for the shoe is checked out. Fans don't trust him after he tapped himself out. 4th and 1 versus the Houston Texans. You get a first down, you make it to the playoffs, you tap yourself out because you're tired? Colts Nation was done with you since that day. Coaches clearly don't trust you. You get benched, you get brought back, you get benched again, you get replaced by Daniel Jones. And now the locker room doesn't trust you either. After you tap yourself out, nobody trusts you. Trust is a very fragile thing, and you broke it. Matter of fact, you shattered it into a million pieces and kicked it across the yard. They say who the team handed the starting job to is not Anthony Richardson. And once that belief is gone, it's almost impossible to rebuild it. Once that trust is gone, it's almost impossible to retain it. There's no question about it. Anthony Richardson has talent. He can still make plays, but he needs a fresh start somewhere else. Somewhere where the fans, coaches, and the front office already believe in him, because in Indy, that ship has sailed. So yeah, the Colts need to trade Anthony Richardson right now. That is a fact, and that is a fact, Jack. Well, let me hear your thoughts, guys. Do you think the Indianapolis Colts need to move on from Anthony Richardson? Old Man River says fact. He says that's a fact. Let me say it with my chest, because it's a fact, because he is a quitter. Old Man River, preach it to the choir, baby. Preach it to the freaking choir. You cannot tap yourself out on 4th and 1. Let's flash back to that week 15 game, whatever it was. Let's say he does not tap himself out. Let's say he's in there. Let's say he gets that first down. All of a sudden, the Colts are still driving. They score. They beat the Houston Texans. They dethrone the Houston Texans from winning the AFC South. The Colts make it to the playoffs. All of a sudden, Anthony Richardson might be a Greek god in Indianapolis. We're having a totally different conversation. Daniel Jones is not even in Indianapolis. I guarantee you that. I mean, let's take it one step further. Let's say they don't get that 4th and 1 call. Let's say they get stopped. Let's say they still lose the game. The season still loses, and they still don't make the playoffs, but Anthony Richardson played his heart out there. Daniel Jones is still not in Indianapolis. The minute he quit on his team in Houston, the minute he tapped himself out, Shane Steichen was done. The Colts Nation was done. That locker room was done. They brought Daniel Jones in there because they knew Anthony Richardson was not going to cut it. And Alpha Rob says it is a fact, but who wants him? That is a great question. That is a fantastic question. Now, Anthony Richardson is entering his 3rd year in the NFL, right? On hindsight, he's younger than Shedeur Sanders. He's younger than Dylan Gabriel. He is younger than a handful of young quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's entering his 3rd or 4th season. I can't remember who, like which year for sure. But when you ask the question, who wants him, you have to think of a team that is kind of in this quarterback limbo, right? A team that could be potentially going through this quarterback turnover. Miami Dolphins, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, potentially the Minnesota Vikings. Who knows what J.J. McCarthy is going to do? Other teams out there that are kind of in this weird quarterback limbo. Seattle Seahawks, Las Vegas Raiders. There are teams, the New York Giants, maybe not the Giants, but the Jets. There are teams out there that are kind of in this weird quarterback limbo, right? I think anywhere that he goes, whether it's Miami, whether it's Carolina, whether it's Jacksonville, I think those are my top 3 destinations for him, because he just kind of fits that mold perfectly, fits in what they want to do. I think Trevor Lawrence should be on the hot seat. I think Bryce Young is probably done after this season if he doesn't turn the corner. And Tua, we don't know what he's going to do year in and like year out. But he goes to those 3 teams that don't expect a whole lot of anything out of him, right? He overperforms a $5 million contract, $4 million contract, whatever he might get. Bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, he's a nice average quarterback. A nice Geno Smith redemption story. So who wants him? I would say Carolina, Jacksonville, or Miami makes the most sense, in my opinion. And Old Man River says winners want the ball. Yeah. Winners want the ball. Winners want the ball. And oh, by the way, winners want the ball. Give me the ball, right? Let's say Wizard of Oz is real. Wizard of Oz was real, man. I'm from Kansas. Wizard of Oz is real. I lived right next to the Wizard of Oz house for 6 years. 5 years, whatever it was. I lived it. I done it. I done it, boy. It is what it is. It is what it is. But guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We'll be back live, raw, uncut tomorrow. I'm going to give you 5 teams that might have decreased season this year. I'm going to tell you why, and if they do or if they don't. But until then, guys, we are out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you're ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.